Well, Mr. Garfunkel, do you remember being on Live with Sonya back in September 26, 1989? That was before you got your hair replacement surgery. You don't remember? You were promoting that book, Still Water. The one that had, you know, prose and poems dealing with your past.
As one half of America's most beloved folk duos, Art Garfunkel recorded some of the most memorable songs of the 60s and the 70s. Today, he is creating poetry, and we'll hear a few of his most favored verses later this hour on Sonya Live.
It's Sonya live in L.A. with Dr. Sonya Friedman.
Welcome back. In just a moment, Art Garfunkel shares some of his most intimate and poetic thoughts with us, and lots that I think you will see maybe for the first time. But first, we're going to see what's happening in New York. And God, it's hard to believe that 20 years have gone by since Simon and Garfunkel went their separate ways. When they parted in 1970, they left the world with such timeless hits as Mrs. Robinson, Sounds of Silence, and of course, Bridge Over Troubled Waters. Both artists eventually pursued solo musical careers, but Art Garfunkel has ventured into a few other things like acting and poetry. And he's recently published a collection of autobiographical prose poems. It's called Still Waters. You know, I am so excited about having you here today, and I have to tell you, I am shocked. I mean, here is a man who's performed all around the world in front of vast audiences live, and we are on television, just you and me in a small studio in Los Angeles, and you're nervous.
Well, John Lennon and Paul McCartney once did The Tonight Show, and I happened to be in the audience being a big Beatles fan, and I watched John come on, and he was all keyed up, and Carson could have said the same, and maybe did, and he said, well, it's because it's all so unnatural, he said. I mean, look at these cameras, and look how we appear to be in a living room setting, but you and I know we have all these lights coming down on us.
Yes, surely, but, you know, not only have you done that for years, but the thing that's so fascinating to me is I've always seen you as a very private person, and I guess that's why I feel so privileged. To be able to have an intimate conversation with you. It must be difficult for you to kind of expose yourself in this way.
Probably if it weren't for Paul Simon, I wouldn't have gotten into this whole line of work. As we were kids, he was a great help in getting the gumption to go into Manhattan, knock on the doors, and show our tunes around. I mean, I ain't that shy, and I'm not that... I mean, I'm in a public profession, and when I do things like write these poems, I want them to be known, so I come out and...
Is this something new? Have you been writing for a long time and you've just kind of collected it, put it together and say, I'd like this to be the moment to bring it out?
In '83, I got serious with this. I had dabbled in it for a while, but in '83 I began to look for inspiration regularly and write regularly.
Is that the way one develops that kind of career? You make sure you write it down, you put it away, you write it down, you put it away. Do you go back and reshape it and reform it, or is it stream of consciousness?
Well, different ones do it different ways. It's a good question. It's a mixture of stream of consciousness because things that fly into your brain are heaven sent for all we know and have to be respected. But then in the shaping of that inspiration into good form comes a lot of tinkering, polishing, and you keep respecting what the initial impulse was, but you fool with it a bit.
Would you read us one of your poems, your selection, any one that you choose, and one, if you like, that maybe tells us a little bit about yourself as you see yourself or ponder yourself?
All right, here's me, because I'm a November baby, and I have a kind of a loner's instinct which made me want to write this. Show me an Andrew, I'll show you a prince of a lad. We inhabit our names and the images of our names. The image of Priscilla, of Harry, of Wayne, the island of Skye, shelter from the storm but adjacent, rancor's raging scorn nearby. The picture of a boy under overcoats on a screened-in porch in a thunderstorm. He brings his chair to the edge of where rain invades, closer to the lightning and the spray. He is a stowaway, grown to manhood on bitterroot and goldenrod, born to November ways, he travels north to Stornoway.
That's quite lovely.
Thank you.
You said that we're really just one person. I mean, everybody out there is in some ways a reflection of everybody else. A notion that you have recently come to, or have you always known that?
Well, you know, jealousy is jealousy. Competition is competition. Euphoria is euphoria. Since we all get to play out the range of emotions, I feel we're all the same. It's just a matter of whether we're in our Thursday afternoon mood or our Sunday night mood.
Right, but what about the range of careers? I mean, do you play yourself out differently in different careers? Acting, poetry, singing and playing?
They tap different things. I look at singing as this lucky, God-given talent that I knew I had at a very young age. And it's, can I use the word visceral?
Sure.
It's just it's not thought out. This kind of writing is very much thought out, and it's about the flow and syllables falling right so that the dance is danceable, the dance of the syllables, but it's awfully it's all about ideas.
Then is acting restrictive for you since it's somebody else's lines and you have narrow parameters about how it's done?
Well, if it does feel restricting, you call up and say, I'm passing on the part.
I see.
So you get into those projects where you feel it's not restricting. The language offers many ways to see yourself in that story.
What I'd really like to ask you about is delicate, so I'm going to be careful about phrasing it. But you lost somebody who you love very much, and you wrote about her, and she was an integral part of your life. You've recently married. What does someone who I view as a real thinker, how do you put someone, kind of put them in a special place and pull out the emotion so you can accept a new love fully, or do you build one love on the other?
It's a fascinating question. I love the question. I see you're trying to get at the emotional truth of what happens. See, I think we get over loss only through time, really. Time's all we got. I don't know what I could have done to hasten the time it takes to feel that a loss has now been absorbed, not forgotten, but made a part of oneself so that you can carry on. Your real interest is in, can I enjoy my present tense and my future tense to the maximum degree? Am I open enough to see what is wonderful and delightful about being alive? If you feel a memory is pressing on you as an obstacle, then you really need time to absorb that.
Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
What will we continue to see? I mean, this is a lovely book. Are we going to see you in films? Are you going to be playing? Will you?
My next thing
appear?
is to be in Europe in October and be the singer. And I've booked 12 shows. Why are you laughing?
I love the way you put it. Well, I'm going to be in Europe as the singer, and then I'm going to come back to the States, and I'm going to be the poet laureate, or whatever.
I don't choose to carry an identity or think of it as show business. I just find myself creatively cooking in various areas, and I initiate my own gigs if they're not calling me, you know. I'm going to do a tour of Holland, Spain, Germany. It's my Less is More tour. It's my voice and one backing instrument. I'm going to see if I can be that lean and develop a new kind of show.
I'm sure your wife must appreciate the loner aspect of who you are, as you have.
She does. She's very respectful of space needs, as I am with her.
Yeah. I hope we get a chance to talk again. So many other things, the walks through the country that we don't have time to talk about today, but what a nice conversation.
Thanks. Next time.
Thank you for being here today. A look at the hour's top stories when we continue.
Thank you for watching Cleveland Live Music. Don't worry, this cop that's approaching is not going to interrupt great uploads. He hopefully supports the channel as much as you folks who hit the subscribe button do. There's Patreon and GoFundMe information that I doubt he's going to do. But you can. But subscribe. Keep watching. That's all that counts.